Hi, welcome back to my channel, and we're going to continue this sound off on the Braxtons. When I left off, I was speaking to Tamar, inviting Ashley to come on her podcast, and I'm happy that she did that because it was necessary. It was something that Ashley needed. It was something that Tamar needed. You know, whoever don't like it, don't like it. Like, I really don't feel no kind of way. I feel like for years, Trina was protected. She was protected by the family. We saw in the episode where Tawanda was like, well, Trina, you're a victim of this. It made me feel away, okay? Because yes, in hindsight, yes, let's be honest here, okay? You're living your life. This is Trina's second marriage. She has these children. Her finances weren't great, like we've already discussed all of those things. And then your world comes apart because your husband does something so inappropriate. But I feel like everybody moved in to protect Trina. The family just decided not to talk about it. They hid it. They kept going on. Gabe was still around so that you could continue to have this sham of a marriage, I guess. I don't even know what to say. When last season people were saying certain things about Gabe that sound so foreign to me, because when I tell you Braxton Family Values was my show, I watched that show all the time, like from the very beginning until it went off the air. I don't remember missing an episode, right? But I also know that while I was watching, and this is probably why my emotions are I'm so emotionally invested into this family and this show, is because as I was watching this show, my life was changing as well. Like, when I started watching this show, I had a completely different life. Both of my parents were alive and well, and I lost both of them while this show was on the air. And so, like, when I tell y'all I took Tracy's passing, I cried. Oh my God. I cried so hard. I cried like I knew this lady. I cried like that lady was my flesh and blood. Okay. So when I tell you I'm invested in the show, I'm invested. Like, I don't like where it's going, but I'm going to continue watching it. Okay. I say all of that to say that there might have been some things that kind of went over my head because real life was happening to me. So there might have been some things that I missed, because some of the stuff that y'all was saying about Gabe, I was like, I didn't remember he did that. Like, that might have been around the time when things were going bad, And here we are talking about this show, and they're both gone. So I don't know. It's upsetting. This show is really becoming so upsetting. It really is. I say all that to say, when Trina was finalizing her divorce with Gabe, I think I might have missed a couple of things. So if y'all remember some stuff that I don't remember, and I say something that's wrong, feel free to correct me, okay? I am not above reproach. I don't like to be looking stupid and saying the wrong stuff, okay? I really felt bad for Trina. Like, when she was talking about her loss with Gabe, I felt really bad. Like, I remember looking at the sisters a little kind of away. Like, dang, none of y'all sisters went with Trina to the funeral. Like, none of y'all was there for her. Like, okay, y'all didn't like Gabe, but y'all sister needed y'all. Y'all didn't go with her. I judged them. I ain't gonna lie. I'm wrong now. Now I feel crazy for judging them. But I definitely judged them back then. I was like, the mama didn't even go with her daughter. This is a hard thing for her to go say goodbye to this man. I used to see them on Instagram after they were divorced, and they would be talking to each other, and they were like, we're best friends, and maybe we weren't meant to be, husband and wife, but we were meant to be best friends. And she spoke so lovingly about him before he even got sick. I remember her older son had such a love for him. The younger son could not stand him. And I just was hoping that maybe it was just, I don't like you because you did my mama wrong. I don't know. But it was like Trina was so oblivious to how much her younger son could not stand Gabe. And that always kind of like stuck with me. And, now I'm thinking a lot of things, okay? And I don't like what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking a lot of things. But anyways, I just feel like I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out that the family stuck by you and helped you stay married to this man, and your niece was just, no one cared about her. Nobody cared. Tamar's the only one absolved. Because the rest of y'all didn't care how it affected that girl. And maybe y'all thought, well, she's already been through so much. This one little thing is not going to be that big of a deal. She's gone through worse. I don't know what y'all was thinking. But to see this happen when y'all was probably, what, in your 30s? Tawanda and Trina, y'all in y'all 50s. And y'all still taking the stance that you guys are taking is very disappointing to me. I can just say that. I guess we can't beat a dead horse. If you don't feel bad about it and you don't want to fix things for your niece and you don't think that you were wrong, and then for you to have a year to kind of think about this and ponder, and you still didn't, girl, I can't excuse this behavior, Trina. I'm really disappointed. Now, before we get back into, the episodes, I got this thing I got to get off my chest. Last season, after everything wrapped, Tawanda and Sean went on Carlos King podcast. They spoke about Tawanda having alopecia. That was really the center of Tawanda's storyline last season. And so when she goes on the Carlos King podcast, she kind of like dives in a little bit deeper and says how she always had really beautiful hair and she started to lose her hair and she knew it was alopecia and she had this attachment to wigs and weaves and all this other stuff. And so, she had a skincare line. I don't know if she still has it, but she definitely had it at the time. And they were coming up with, I guess, like a line for women who had alopecia to take care of their scalp, because sometimes it's patchy and, they got their own struggles, Shout out to the women dealing with that. It was a big deal for her to come out and say, look, this is my situation. This is what I'm going through. So when she started rocking the bald shaved head, that's what it was. And somewhere in this interview, her now husband Sean said he was happy when Tawanda let go of the wigs. She freed herself from the wigs, and that's fine. That's all good and great, You should never feel, imprisoned by your wigs. Like, baby, I'm gonna wear my wigs, okay? You know that about me. I'm gonna wear my wigs. I'm gonna wear my clip-ins. I'm gonna do my hair, okay? If my hair grows to my ankles, I will still be wearing wigs. Please know that about me. But you should never feel like imprisoned by them. If you want to rock however you want to do your hair, baby, do your hair, okay? But Sean said something that really irked my nerves. He said something like, I wasn't gonna marry her with that stuff on her head, no way. Almost like I was waiting for the real her to come out, like, oh, her with the wigs. You know how men get. He was like, I wasn't gonna marry her with that on her head, no way. Well, baby, consider me, I was befuddled, okay? I was all kinds of confused when I saw that man wearing a man weave. I was like, I know you lying. You got on Carlos King podcast and said that you was not going to marry no woman that had that stuff on her head. You wasn't going to marry Tawanda because she was rocking wigs and weaves, because she wasn't being her true self, her authentic self. And then you went and got yourself a man weave. Tawanda and Sean weird. They real different. Over there. But I guess, y'all, I just, that's been bothering me ever since I seen the picture of him with his man weave, with his man unit. I have been feeling away, because you're not going to sit up here and make fun of women wearing wigs and weaves and then you go get you a wig and a weave. I know you lying. But yeah, he tried it. Now, I really don't want to be negative because we got a lot of dark content so far with this show, right? But the word on the curb was that the network wanted Tamar to be a part of the show. If Tamar wasn't going to be on the show, they didn't feel like the show was going to do what it needed to do. The word on the curb is Trina and Tawanda felt like, oh no, we're going to carry the show. Like, we don't need Tamar to be on the show. And that Miss Evelyn had to ask Tamar personally to be on the show. And the more we watch, the more I believe that all of that is true. The way that It's just so awkward. Like, I feel like the OG Braxton Family Values show was so much better because it was just like everybody was relaxed. Trina was in her own world. She was being goofy and drunk and whatever. Tracy was just hilarious, just saying whatever she wanted to say. She wasn't the prim and proper one. Tony was, the superstar, the legend. She was too bougie. She was too cool for school. Tamar is, the wild card, the diva, the one that does all the antics. She come up with all the funny one-liners and the sayings and the new vocabulary. The .coms, the .orgs, the .govs, all of that, the hotmess.com and the shade assassin. Well, she wasn't a shade assassin. What she used to say? She was in Shade Anonymous, That damn Tamar, she's something else. Tawanda was always like what they call her, the responsible one. She was like the family assistant. She was the one that was running everybody. Tawanda would always talk to us in the confessionals. You know how like a mom talks to their kid when they're trying to make them excited for something that they don't really want to be excited about? Like, okay, it's time to get ready for school. Okay, it's time to get ready for your chores. I'll never forget the first season of Braxton Family Values. Tawanda was like, one thing that us, the Braxton sisters, are very famous for are wearing lashes. So I have to pick up Tony's lashes. And it was just like, girl, baby, I've been wearing lashes since, the 10th grade? What's so excited about that? Like, Tawanda is full of it. I'm so sorry. She is really full of it. And it was like, Trina, you did not used to be this corny. But ever since you started letting Tawanda think for you, you have become just as corny as she has become. It's just like, girl, go sit down somewhere. So I truly believe the rumors that they didn't want to move on with this show unless Tamar was a part of it in some capacity. And that's why she said she was on there as a friend last season. That's why all her scenes were disjointed and she was really filming with her mom most of the time. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And this season that she's back, it's like, let's be real. Nobody was tuning in to watch Tawanda. And I'm not trying to be mean and evil about it because, I don't want to come on here and ever be negative, right? I really don't want to be negative. But it's just like, Tawanda, you're really tripping. You thinking that everybody's tuning in to watch you? Girl, we're not. We want to see everybody. We like when y'all was coming together and singing little songs about the fertile tree and all the other things that y'all was doing. But the fighting is not cute. And I think for a long time, y'all did a really good job at hiding behind Tamar. Tamar's antics were so distracting that everything that Tamar did was just overshadow everything. You wouldn't look too deep at what Tracy was doing or what Tracy to me really wasn't doing that thing. You wouldn't look too deep at what Tawanda and Trina were doing. Especially Trina. I used to be on Trina's side all the time. When her and Tamar would get into it, and I don't think my opinion has really changed because the moments that we saw, a lot of times Tamar was wrong. There was a couple of times that I think I might have changed my mind about, but most of them I'm still rocking with Trina on her arguments with Tamar. But Tawanda, you got some explaining to do. Well, you ain't gonna explain. You just gonna, you gonna avoid accountability like you've been doing. But anyways, let's get into this wedding. I'm not that excited about this wedding. I know Tawanda is like, oh my God, I'm engaged. And it's not coming off as someone who's super excited to be getting married. It's coming off more so as like, you're hoping that your wedding will overshadow whatever is going on. Like, y'all had a rough season last year. Like, y'all filmed y'all season, but we didn't have input until it was already done, right? So this season, y'all are going into it knowing that the viewers are not really messing with y'all like that. A lot of people are angry about some of the things that we saw. Y'all told a lot of lies, and a lot of your lies got clocked. So I feel like she's talking about this wedding to kind of erase our memory. She's trying to Men in Black us. Let's talk about this wedding and love and how much I love my man. And this is my first time having a wedding, and all my sisters had weddings. And this is my first wedding as a girl in the family. I never got a wedding. But Tawanda, we ain't forgot what you did. Like, we didn't forget all the lies that you told on Tracy's husband. And so a lot of us, our attitude towards you is sour. Even if people don't remember why they're not fucking with you, we know we ain't fucking with you. I really gotta stop cussing. I really, really have to. It's so not ladylike. But yeah, Tawanda, you told a lot of lies last season that got clocked. A lot of lies. Like, a lot of lies. On Tracy, on her husband, about her son. Like, you did a lot last season. And so I feel like this season is like, oh, let's talk about my wedding. I'm so excited to be getting married. But it's like, Tawanda, you're so calculating. We can't even enjoy you because you're calculating. I guess, like, it's just, girl, I guess. But y'all getting married and we're happy for you. But this every 5 seconds saying, because I'm engaged. Girl, we see, we know. We get it. You engaged, girl. Congratulations. But that don't erase everything else that you've been doing, sweetheart. Like, it just doesn't. So, about this bachelorette party and the whole situation. Tawanda says she was dropping off Sean at the airport. And then she was crossing the street at the airport. And then somebody just hit. Child, that is crazy. Like, that is... I'm so confused by this. Like, I'm so confused by this. Like, is she gonna get a... I know she's suing. She got to be suing somebody. Like, she about to get a check for this. I know she is. And this is not a laughing matter, but this is bizarre. Like, was it nighttime? This is bizarre. This is really bizarre. Because, okay, you're dropping your man off at the airport. So did you have to, like, assist him? Did you have to walk in there with him with his bags? Like, was this like I'm confused by that. I'm just confused by that whole thing. Like, we don't even have to talk about it. The girl gets hit by a car. That is crazy. She was towed up. Like, and she's insisting on having this wedding. And that makes me feel like weird. Okay, I can understand going on the trip, right? Because everybody bought plane tickets to go to Mexico. I'm sure y'all rented out a villa. Okay, go on the trip. Enjoy your girls. Let your girls love on you. But I would have pushed that wedding back a little bit. Because I don't know. That's just... my spirit would have been unsettled. Like, I'm a person that believes in signs. Let me tell y'all. If something isn't right, I'm just not going to do it. If it don't feel good, I'm not going to do it, because I promise you, every time something doesn't feel right and I go along with it, I have lived to regret it. I'm very big on signs. Like, I really feel like that's God's way of connecting with us. If you feel something in the pit of your stomach, I'm going to listen to it. If you come around me and I feel uneasy, I'm not going to change my mind and be like, I'm going to believe my instincts. Because why I'm going to lie to me? I'm not going to lie to me. I'm going to tell me the truth. So I don't know. Like, Tawanda, are you feeling like this marriage is the right thing for you? Because you got hit by a car right before you went on your bachelor. Girl, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I believe in signs. I hope that, I believe in signs. I just feel like, I know y'all come from a praying family, so stay prayed up. But, ooh, girl, that's not a good... I don't know. I'm a person, too, that, like, sometimes in the past, I try to fit something where it doesn't fit. I try to force it where it doesn't fit. And that doesn't really work out well for me. So, like, when I tell you now, I'll be listening. When I have a feeling, I listen to my intuition. Because when I tell you, forcing something where it doesn't fit, it doesn't work out well. And I don't know Sean, and I don't know to one of them in real life, but I would be so unsettled. I would be like, the wedding would have to be postponed. I'm not getting married at that time. No, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm going to have to talk to Jesus about it a little bit more and see what we can come up with. We would go on that bachelorette party, okay? Let your friends love on you. But that wedding would be postponed. I'm just saying. But, I guess, she had to get married on that day. Anyway, y'all, they go on this bachelorette party and Tony can't make it and Tamar's not there. And I feel a way about this for several reasons. You know, everybody's always gonna assume Tamar is just this bad person. She didn't want to be there for her sister. She don't like when the attention isn't on her, that type of stuff. This is my thing. Well, okay, let's start here. Apparently, all of this is happening around Tamar's birthday. Now, I am a birthday girl. Okay, I'm a birthday person. Like, my birthday is my own personal holiday. Nobody can tell me anything different. Okay, it was the day that God said you were going to come to this world. Okay, and I cherish my birthdays. My parents always made me feel special about my birthdays, and anybody who comes around me who ain't on that same type of energy, I don't even want you in my life. Like, no joke. I had 2 really, really, really sad birthdays, okay? And I'll never I'm not doing that ever again in life. So if you come around me trying to hate on my birthday, I feel a way about you. And we all know Tamar, that's the type of girl she is. She loves her birthday. Okay, there are 12 months in a year. 12. It's only 4 of you guys left. Why you got to get married on Tamar's birthday weekend? Why? Why you got to do that? And then all your activities leading up to it and all the preparation and all the last minute arrangements, it's going to spill over to her birthday. Why would you do that? You're being mean on purpose. You're not low, Tawanda. We see you. We see you for your works, girl. But what Tawanda was not expecting to happen, what she wasn't expecting to happen, like, Tamar really been going to therapy. I know y'all been joking that she ain't really healed. She been going to therapy forever. Tamar is lining up, like, she's learning how to fight back. She's still over the top. She's still team too much. She's still with the antics, but she's learning how to fight back. When Tamar got the producer to expose Tawanda for her works, I was very proud. I was proud of Tamar. I knew where this was going. You have Tawanda on her trip to Tulum with 40 of her closest friends. I don't know if it was 40. I'm just saying it was 40 of them, right? Trina's there. The only person that's missing is Tony. And then she's like, oh my God, I wish Tracy was on this trip. Tawanda, you are something else. You act like we didn't see Tracy tell you about yourself on this show several times. You didn't miss Tamar not one little bit. And for you to say, but I thought my sisters were going to be here for me. I'm always there for them, but they weren't here for me. You are a piece of work. You really are. Like, what you're doing, I'm sorry. It's just, it's not okay. For us to find out that you didn't even want Tamar on that trip. You went to the same producer and was like, oh my God, my sisters aren't showing up for me. After you had already told him you didn't want Tamar there. Tamar said she had her ticket, and Tawanda did not want her there. She didn't want her there. She said she's going to mess up everything. What's she going to mess up? What could she possibly mess up? Don't talk about family stuff. Everybody there drinking, playing pin the banana on the stripper, whatever games y'all was playing. How was Tamar going to mess that up? You just didn't want her there because you don't like her. She was going to do something that irked you, and you was going to go up on her. That's what you're trying to tell us? Like, girl, I'm so glad Tamar got the producer to expose Tawanda. Because everybody been talking about Tamar for what? Almost a year. Oh, she didn't go to her sister's wedding. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that way and she's that way. Not knowing you got married on her birthday. Well, not on her birthday, but the week of her birthday. You wanted it to be an issue. You wanted there to be an issue. There are 12 months in a year. Why did you have to pick the week of Tamar's birthday? You couldn't pick the beginning of March or the beginning of April? No shade to Tracy, but I don't think Tracy would have minded if you had your wedding on her birthday. I don't think she would have cared that much. But yeah, I wasn't surprised. Because I've dealt with my own situation like that. I've dealt with that. So, I mean, everybody is doing all these think pieces that Tamar got vindicated this season. She got vindicated last season, if you ask me. I said that last season, that she was vindicated. Because she wasn't around as much, we really got to see how Tawanda operates. It's crazy to me. And we're going to bring it right back on around to Gabe. It's crazy to me how Gabe got caught sending your niece, your 16-year-old niece, inappropriate text messages. But y'all were still cool with Gabe. Y'all might not have liked him. He might not have been y'all favorite person, but y'all were still cool with Gabe. Gabe was still around. He was allowed to come around. He was invited to family functions. He was invited to all your celebrity gigs, the backstage. Tawanda, you move your children and your husband into this man's house. But y'all had such venom for Tracy's husband. What did Tracy's husband do to y'all? Y'all said such terrible things about Tracy's husband. Meanwhile, Trina's husband was being inappropriate with your 16-year-old niece. I'm sorry, but I been knew y'all wasn't any good last season. Before the Ashley revelation ever even came out, I knew y'all wasn't no good. The way that man clocked all y'all lies that y'all told on him last year, talking about he's not going to be given, that individual won't be given a platform on this show. Yeah, because y'all didn't want him to air y'all out. Y'all didn't want him to clock y'all lies. And again, I think that's the reason why Tawanda is making this big deal of this wedding. She wants to Men in Black us from last season. Because last season, y'all were like, oh my God, everything we're doing is for Tracy. Tracy wanted us to come back. Tracy wanted us to have this show. Tracy wanted us to have this moment. We love Tracy so much. Tawanda was like, I always fought for Tracy and I'm always going to fight for Tracy. And Trina's like, yep, and it was just like, y'all did her husband so dirty. Y'all did her son so dirty last season. That's another reason why they're talking about this wedding, because nobody really wants to see Tracy's son be exploited this season. So we're talking about this wedding. But let me tell y'all, okay, since we here, maybe some of y'all don't know and maybe some of y'all don't care because y'all don't like to listen to the man. And I'm the same way, but I'm going to listen when there's a reason to listen, right? Last season, the producers wanted Tracy's husband to film a couple of episodes with his son, and they were dead set against it. So a couple of YouTubers reached out to Kevin Sr. so that he could tell his story. And I think he called it Sessions with Sarat, something like that. I don't remember whose platform it was, but it was somebody's YouTube that had a whole bunch of followers, and they did like a couple of episodes with Kevin Sr. And what I got from that was, Tawanda and all of them are full of shit, okay? Tracy was in constant pain by how her family treated her, by how her sisters treated her. They have been going on and on for the past how many years about, oh, we need to get back to our sisterhood and our sistership. And it's been broken. And they really pretend as if the show caused all this division, but y'all have always had issues. During Kevin Sr.'s sessions with Sarat, a lot of things came out. One of the things that came out that stunned me was Tracy was kicked out of the house when she started dating Kevin Sr. And I think he had a record. He had a little bit of a record. He was divorced. He had, different things. And I guess that just didn't match the Braxton image that, Miss Evelyn and them wanted for the girls. And so if you're going to be with him, you got to go. And Kevin didn't even reveal that. His mother revealed it. She was like, Tracy was going from pillar to post. And when she found out about it, she said, oh no, you have to have somewhere to stay. You can come stay with me. And she went to live with his mother. I remember, I think on the first season of Braxton Family Values, they were all making fun of Tracy because the mother-in-law lived with them. And she was kind of over it. She was like, yeah, I'm kind of over my mother-in-law living in the room down the hall. But there was a reason why she was living in the room down the hall, because when you didn't have nowhere to live, you lived with her. So when I say, if you are curious, maybe you want to go find it, search it up on YouTube, because I'm sure it's still there. A lot of things came out about the Braxtons, and he held his tongue. There's a lot he didn't say. There's a lot he really, really didn't say. And they knew they couldn't address none of that. So now they're just going to act like none of that even happened. We're just going to talk about this wedding. And we're just going to act like we didn't try to malign that man last season. But that's what you did. That's what y'all did. Because last season, every time people was trying to challenge them about how they were treating Tracy's husband, they would do after shows on Instagram Live, on YouTube, on different, whatever platforms. and double down that he was this bad person, and certain things need to come out about him. Well, he beat you to the punch because certain things came out about y'all. They tried to malign that man, and he came out and he started dispelling some of their lies, and they look stupid. The Carlos King interview that Tawanda and Sean did, it was originally supposed to be Trina and Tawanda. And I believe that Trina didn't show up because she was embarrassed, because some of the truths were starting to come out. Like, Kevin Sr. had started doing his videos and things started coming out. And I think that Trina was embarrassed. But Tawanda got dry face. Okay, she don't care about nothing. She gon' tell her lie. Okay, that's her story, and she gonna stick to it. Or she gonna pivot. But you will never catch her. You will never get her to say, you know what, I'm sorry. It will never happen with Tawanda. That's one thing that I have noticed over the years. Many a times, Tamar has given apologies and people find them to be insincere. But you know what Tawanda never does? Tawanda does not apologize. She will not apologize. I will never forget her telling Tracy to her, I'm not apologizing. You have to get over it. You don't care that you hurt your sister. She would not apologize. And so, I mean, I don't want no fake apology either, but child, I don't know. But actually, I do know. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this video on up because it's pretty lengthy, and we can wrap up this conversation in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for listening to me.